Hello, welcome to day 13 of the Viewfinder song explanations and Crush. I was talking about Twisted Rhapsodies yesterday, but today I'm talking about Crush. And the reason why I put them close to next to each other on the record is because they came out the same session. If you remember, I talked about the guy, producer Head, who I worked with on those sessions. And this was the second time I'd recorded Crush. I'd originally done the first demo myself in my own little home studio and done it just entirely on my own to sketch out the idea. But when I sent it to Head, he absolutely loved this track, but he recommended that we slowed it right down. And so we went into a studio in Bristol and we spent a day working on this song, just one day. And yes, the main thing I remember is that he wanted it to be incredibly slow and very spacey and very little going on, and it being all about the lyric. And the lyric is very interesting. It's a flow of consciousness. It has a sort of sense of otherworldly about it, and I've always loved it as a lyric because it was one of the songs that was successful with regard to that approach. Now, flow of consciousness writing is something that is, I think, a lot of writers have indulged in. David Bowie specifically was very into this idea that you kind of open up yourself to every possibility and allow just the words to come out without even second guessing what they mean and how you can put them together. I went one step further with that. I used to and still do write lyrics and titles and ideas and themes on pieces of paper, and I hang them up on my studio wall, and so I can kind of catch sight of them every now and again, and you know, so almost absent-mindedly, those ideas go in, and then they regurgitate themselves as a kind of concept. Or I can just see a title or a selection of words that I can put together as a title or use them as a lyric. So this is exactly what happened with Crush. I can remember being in my little studio, which was situated in the old Little Angels rehearsal room at this particular point, and writing that idea. And I can remember looking at these sheets on the wall and thinking, oh, I really like that word, I really like that word. And I was writing them down and not even thinking how I was going to put them together. And eventually I ended up with a whole raft of kind of strange connective pieces and little phrases which made a crazy sense. And I didn't question it for a second about what it meant. I just wrote it as a lyric and then sang it. And it hasn't changed since that first day. Even to the version that Wayward Sons have done, I've kept the words pretty much exactly the same. And the crazy thing is that I think if you do the flow of consciousness approach, is that your subconscious is spitting out the things that you're feeling at the time. And I know that song is talking about feeling the pressure of and needs, if you like, to find something, whether it's yourself or whether it's an answer to a problem, and the crushing sense of doubt that a lot of us can get, that sense of being an imposter, that you're going to get found out and people are going to, you know, sort of pull back the curtain, and there's going to be the wizard, and they're going to reveal all your non-truths and your sort of lack of expertise or something. It's that sort of thing. So it's that sort of sense of oppression. But I didn't spot it when I was writing it, and I've always found it very curious that somehow my mind was able to order that lyric in that way. But yeah, no, this is the original version that I recorded with Head, and yeah, hope you like it.